Remember rushing to Woolworths for pick and mix sweets after school, or spending hours browsing CDs at our price? These stores shaped British childhoods for decades, but now they're gone forever. 20 iconic shops that once ruled the UK high street have vanished completely. Some disappeared overnight, others slowly faded away. Tonight, we're exploring what killed them and why their loss still hurts. Starting with number 1. We have Woolworths, the pick and mix empire. Nearly 100 years of British retail history wiped out in months. Woolworths wasn't just a shop, it was a weekly ritual. Every Saturday, families would pile in for the pick and mix. Kids would spend forever choosing between foam bananas and cola bottles. Parents would grab birthday wrapping paper, cleaning supplies, and random household bits all in one trip. But here's what killed Woolworths: they'd become the master of nothing. They sold toys, but Toys R Us did toys better. They sold CDs, but supermarkets sold them cheaper. They sold household goods, but Argos had better selection. By 2008, Woolworths' only unique selling point was pick and mix sweets. The internet didn't kill Woolworths directly. Online shopping was still growing in 2008. What killed them was losing their identity. They tried to compete with everyone and ended up being special to no one. When families could buy the same products cheaper elsewhere, why bother with Woolworths? Here's the crazy part. Woolworths actually tried to reinvent themselves multiple times in the 1990s. They tested smaller stores. They focused on toys and kids' products. They even experimented with becoming a convenience chain. But British shoppers had already moved on. Woolworths kept chasing yesterday's customers while everyone else was building tomorrow's businesses. The final nail came from their suppliers. When sales dropped, major brands like Disney and Sony demanded better terms. Woolworths couldn't afford to stock the products people actually wanted. Empty shelves killed the remaining customer loyalty. 800 stores became 400 stores, became 0 stores in just 2 years. Number 2. BHS, British Home Stores, closed 2016. 88 years of British retail wiped out by pure greed. BHS was where your mum bought school uniforms, where families got curtains, bedding, and basic furniture. Nothing fancy, but reliable and affordable. BHS survived 2 world wars, the rise of shopping centres, and decades of changing fashion. They seemed indestructible. The final months were brutal. Green tried to sell BHS for just £1 to a company that had never run retail stores before. When that failed, administrators came in. 11,000 people lost their jobs overnight. Pensioners faced massive cuts to their retirement funds. But here's the sickest part. During BHS's final clearance sales, customers discovered they could buy identical products directly from Chinese suppliers for 75% less. BHS had been marking up cheap imports by 300 to 400%. The internet exposed their entire business model as one giant markup scam. Green walked away with hundreds of millions. The workers got nothing. BHS became the perfect example of how corporate greed can destroy century-old British institutions. Number 3. Rumbelows. 1995. This wasn't just any electronics store. Rumbelows had been around since the 60s, selling washing machines and TVs to families across Britain. They had bright yellow storefronts and catchy ads that everyone remembered, but by the mid-90s, something deadly was happening. Big box stores like Currys were offering the same products for less money. Rumbelows couldn't match their prices. Within months, 290 stores closed forever. Thousands of workers lost their jobs. The first domino had fallen. Number 4. C&A. In 2000, what made this closure different? C&A wasn't actually failing. They were making money in Britain, but their European bosses looked at the numbers and made a cold business decision. Britain was their least profitable market. So they walked away from 109 stores and 4,800 employees. Families who had shopped at C&A for generations suddenly had nowhere to buy their affordable clothes. The Dutch company kept thriving everywhere else in Europe. Britain just wasn't worth their time anymore. Number 5. Tandy. In 2001. Tandy was where tech dreams began. Need a radio kit? Tandy had it. Want to build your own computer? Tandy was your place. For 30 years, they'd been the Radio Shack of Britain. But the internet changed everything. Why buy parts from a small Tandy store when you could get them cheaper online? The tech revolution that Tandy helped create ended up destroying them. The digital revolution claims its victims. Number 6. Our price. Early 2000s. Music was everything to our price. They had rows and rows of CDs, cassettes, and vinyl records. Saturday afternoons meant browsing through their latest releases. But then came Napster, then iTunes. Suddenly, people could download songs instantly instead of buying whole albums. Our price tried to adapt, but it was too late. Physical music sales crashed. Store after store closed until the brand disappeared completely. The digital age had claimed its first major victim. Number 7. Index, 2005. Index was like having a mini Argos in every town. You'd flip through their catalog, pick out what you wanted, and they'd bring it from the warehouse. Simple. Effective. But Argos was getting bigger and better. Online shopping was growing fast. Index found themselves squeezed from both sides. They couldn't compete with Argos's scale or Amazon's convenience. After decades of catalog shopping, Index quietly vanished. Number 8. Etam, 2005. This French fashion chain thought they understood British women. They had trendy clothes at reasonable prices. Their European stores were packed with customers. But something went wrong in Britain. Maybe it was the fashion. Maybe it was the competition from Zara and H&M. Whatever it was, Etam couldn't crack the code. They packed up and left, joining C&A as another European retailer that gave up on Britain. Number 9. Little Woods, 2005. This one hurt. Little Woods had been a British institution for 77 years. They pioneered catalog shopping. They had massive department stores. Generations of families had grown up with Little Woods. But the internet was killing catalog sales. Their stores looked outdated compared to modern shopping centers. One by one, the shops closed. The Little Woods name survived online, but the physical stores were history. The late 2000s, bloodbath. Number 10. MK1. Late 2000s. MK1 was fashion for teenagers who didn't have much money. Think cheap jeans, trendy tops, and accessories that looked expensive but cost almost nothing. They understood their market perfectly. But then Primark exploded onto the scene. Primark had the same low prices but much bigger stores and better locations. MK1 couldn't compete. Their small shops looked cramped and outdated next to Primark's massive warehouses. The fast fashion war was over before MK1 even knew they were fighting. Number 11. Zavvi, 2009. This story gets complicated fast. Zavvi used to be Virgin Megastore, you know, Richard Branson's music and movie empire. But Virgin sold the chain, and it became Zavvi. They sold CDs, DVDs, games, and gadgets. Everything seemed fine until the 2008 financial crisis hit. Their supplier, Entertainment UK, went bankrupt overnight. Suddenly, Zavvi couldn't get any stock, empty shelves, confused customers. Within months, they were finished. The credit crunch had claimed another victim. Number 12. Principles, 2009. Principles was where office workers shopped. Smart jackets, professional dresses, shoes that looked good in meetings. They'd built their reputation on quality middle-market fashion. But 2009 was brutal for retail. The recession meant people had less money to spend on clothes. Cheaper stores like Primark were taking customers from below. Designer brands at discount prices were attacking from above. Principles got squeezed out completely. Even their parent company couldn't save them. The Great Collapse, 2012 to 2013. Number 13. Comet, 2012. Comet was supposed to be different. They specialized in electrical goods, washing machines, TVs, computers. For 79 years, they'd been Britain's go-to electronics store. But online shopping was destroying them. Why drive to Comet and pay full price when you could order the same television online for 20% less? Their massive stores became expensive dinosaurs. Staff costs were crushing them. By 2012, they owed so much money that even a rescue deal couldn't save them. 6,900 jobs gone overnight. Number 14. JJB Sports, 2012. JJB Sports used to be everywhere. Football shirts, trainers, gym gear, they had it all. At their peak, they had over 400 stores and were serious rivals to Sports Direct. But they made deadly mistakes. They opened too many stores too quickly. They borrowed too much money. When Sports Direct started a price war, JJB couldn't keep up. Mike Ashley's empire crushed them completely. Sports Direct even bought some of their best stores for pennies on the pound. Number 15. Blockbuster UK, 2013. Friday night at Blockbuster was a ritual. Browse the new releases, grab some popcorn, pick a movie for the weekend. They had 4,000 stores worldwide and seemed unstoppable. Then Netflix launched in the UK. Suddenly, people could watch thousands of movies for less than the cost of renting 2 DVDs. Blockbuster tried to adapt with their own streaming service, but it was too late. The convenience revolution had killed them. Physical movie rental was dead forever. Number 16. Jessup's, 2013. Jessup's was paradise for photographers, professional cameras, lenses that cost thousands, film developing services. They'd been the camera experts since 1935, but smartphones changed everything. Why buy a separate camera when your phone could take decent photos? Digital photography killed their film business. Online retailers sold cameras cheaper. Even professional photographers started buying equipment online. Jessup's couldn't survive the technology shift they'd helped create. The final wave, 2018 to 2021. Number 17. Maplin, 2018. Maplin was every electronics hobbyist's dream. Need a specific resistor? Maplin had it. Want to build a robot? They sold the parts. For 47 years, they'd been the electronics playground of Britain, but Amazon was eating them alive. Why visit a Maplin store when you could order the same components online for half the price? Their rent costs were massive. Their customer base was shrinking. When they filed for administration, 2,300 jobs vanished. The maker movement had moved online. Number 18. Toys R Us UK, 2018. This was the big one that broke parents' hearts. Toys R Us wasn't just a shop, it was childhood magic. Giant aisles packed with every toy imaginable. Kids would spend hours just walking around, dreaming. But supermarkets started selling toys cheaper. Online shopping made everything more convenient. Their massive warehouse stores became too expensive to run. When the doors closed for the final time, Britain lost its biggest toy wonderland. Childhood would never be the same. Number 19. Bealls, 2020. Bealls was old-school retail. Founded in 1881, they'd survived 2 world wars and countless recessions. Their department stores sold everything from clothes to home goods. But 2020 was different. Online shopping had already weakened them. Then COVID-19 delivered the killing blow. Lockdowns meant empty stores. Bills kept coming, but customers didn't. After 139 years of trading, Bealls couldn't survive a global pandemic. Even history couldn't save them. The new reality. 26 years, 18 retail giants, gone. What killed them wasn't just one thing, it was everything at once. The internet made shopping cheaper and more convenient. Smartphones replaced entire categories of products. Streaming services destroyed physical media. Fast fashion crushed traditional clothing stores. Amazon turned shopping into a same-day delivery service. But here's what's really shocking. This wasn't the end. While these 18 chains were dying, new retail empires were being born. ASOS became a billion-pound fashion giant without a single physical store. Boohoo bought the remains of several dead brands and turned them into online-only successes. The high street didn't just change, it completely transformed into something unrecognizable. Right now, as you watch this, more chains are struggling. More safe retailers are facing the same pressures that killed these 18 giants. The retail apocalypse isn't over. It's still happening. And the next wave of closures might be even bigger than what we've already seen. The brands you shop at today could be tomorrow's cautionary tales. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to see more similar videos.